This is Carl at National RV Detroit. I'm going to walk you through this 2017 Spree LX Superlight made by KZ. Okay, so this is just a how-to video. It just goes over some of the features, shows you how they work, in case you're not familiar with this model or travel trailers in general. Okay, so we'll start here. This has power stabilizers, so you don't have to crank them. You just extend them and retract them. Now, of course, you don't lift the trailer with these stabilizers. You're just taking the wiggle out of it. And if you look at this side here, this is the off-door side, you could actually get a crank. I don't know if this one comes with it or not because it's a used trailer, but it'll go on there. It's got a cylinder with a slot cut through it. You could actually crank these manually if you have to get yourself out of trouble. Okay. Now, let's go this way. You've got a power awning with LED. You got outside speakers. This is a signal out for the TV. It says cable, so you have to check to see if it's just cable through or it's actually hooked to the antenna. Okay, but either way, and this is power for that, of course. And this is your front stabilizer, same as in the back. There's one switch for it. One switch controls both fronts, another switch controls both backs, and you can crank them manually if you go to the other side. So it does have the crank here. This is it right here. See how it has a slot cut in it? With this you can crank the stabilizers manually. Now this crank here is just a 3/4 inch crank. Let me look over here. This one right here is for the power tongue jack, the small silver one. If this was to happen to fail, you can unscrew this cap right here, put that crank on there, and crank it manually also. All right. So, and if we look in here, you can see that's on the other side. That's where your water pump is and where you winterize from. The green box obviously is your dump hose, and then in front of that is your shore cord. Now, one more thing over here. This is the kill switch for your battery. So right now the battery's on, but if you ever want to disconnect it, like if you're putting it into storage for a long period of time, you can shut it off right there. So like I said, you got a power tongue jack. You have 2 LP tanks full, a deep cycle marine battery, and here's the other side of the pass-through here. And this is a 50 amp power cord, so it's a 50 amp system. We give you the adapters to adapt it down, right? So you can still plug it in just about anywhere, but it's a 50 amp system, which is heavy duty, of course. Now, when it comes to getting water to the trailer, the most common way here is the city water hookup. Okay, so you're going to put the hose on there, turn it on, and you're all set. Now, if you happen to go to a campground that does not have plumbing on the campsites, you can pre-fill your fresh water tank right here. And so you fill that up, and then when you get to the campground or the campsite, you can turn on your water pump, and it'll pump the water just like you've got city water. All the plumbing will work just like you got city water. So there's 2 ways to get water. All right, let me look here. See what else we have. Okay, so these are your dump valves here. Right. You see you got a gray one here, the black one there. The black one is toilet water and waste. The gray one is sink and shower water. Of course, your hose hooks up to that. Now, after you dump, the sequence would be you dump the black first because it's the dirtiest of water. Then you dump the gray. It kind of flushes the hose out a little bit. Then, if you leave your black valve open, you can come over here with your hose at the dump station, the actual water hose. You put it right on this black tank, flush, turn it on, and it'll spray out the inside of your black tank. Clean off the sensors, that sort of thing. Like it says here on this sticker, make sure the valve is open before you turn the water on. So that's important. If you have a hose at the dump station, always flush it. All right, let me see if I can get this off. This is your water heater here. There we go. Just set this down for a second. So let's see what we've got here. Now the switches, some of the switches to operate this are inside the trailer, right? But I just want to show you, this one works on both gas and electric. So right behind, there's an electric heating element behind this cover, right? it's controlled by this switch right here, right? So it's off now. You just have to remember when you're going to use the electric heating element, which is what most people use, by the way, when they're plugged into the campground. You have to turn this on, okay? You always make sure there's water in the water heater tank before you turn that on, or you'll burn it out. It's not a really big deal, but nevertheless, it's an expense, and you have to put some time into it. Also, one thing, this is where you drain it. So that's an 1 1/16 6-point socket. You also need an extension, 6 or 8 inches long, and a ratchet or a bar, whatever you have. But that's where you drain it from, okay? I'll show you the other switches when we get inside. Bear with me here. Okay, here we go. That's just exhaust for your furnace. Okay, back around. This one comes with a trunk, obviously. Now you plug your short cord right in there. There's also a shower, an outside sprayer behind here too. You have a ladder, which is great because manufacturers suggest that you check your roof every 90 days. So make sure you go up there, have somebody go up there every 90 days, check all the sealant, make sure there's no cracking or separation, make sure that none of the vent covers or the roofing material was damaged by a low branch or anything like that. So just give it a good inspection every 90 days. And if you do see an issue, take care of it immediately. Okay, so let's go inside. Okay, right when we walk in the door, you can see this device right here. That's your carbon monoxide LP gas detector. If that goes off, obviously you're going to take everybody outside, leave the door open, shut the gas off at the front and figure out what's going on. Okay, so let me get some lights here. Some of your controls are here. So let's see what we got here. There we go. Okay, so while we're standing here, we'll do this first. Alright, so these are for your slide rooms, 3 slide rooms in and out. And this one is for your power awning, extend and retract. So make sure you never leave the power awning out unattended. If you're not at the campsite, roll it in. This is to light your water heater, right there. We're not plugged into AC power, that's why it didn't light up there, just so you know. We're running off the battery right now. And of course switches. Now over here, we can have check your tank levels. I'm not sure. We'll have to talk about this when we get in. I can't tell you for sure that's for the water heater. I can't tell you what it is right now. It's unusual to see it there, but I do see that they have a gas switch for the water heater right here, right? So that's obviously where you light the water heater. Now this switch here for the water heater is a second electric switch. So remember, you got to turn the one on the outside on too, the one that's in the lower left-hand corner, and this one, okay? To turn on your water pump, it's right here. To check your levels, it's right here. Battery, fresh water, black water, and gray water. So it graduates up in 1/3 increments. So once you get past about 2/3, you got to start thinking about dumping the black and the gray tank. Okay? All right. The mystery switch. I don't know what to say about this yet, so hold off on that. I don't want to give you wrong information because there's no point in that. All right, so you have remotes and everything. This is your fireplace. It works on 110 AC. So you can basically, it's got a thermostat, a fan speed. You can change the appearance of the fire, different colors and intensities. All that normal stuff. Plus, because it's a really good space heater too, that's why I mentioned the fan. You have fan and thermostat. Also, there's a timer on it, so you can turn it. You can set the timer to go on, 20 minutes before you get up in the morning, and it'll take the chill out of the trailer. And the thing is, you have a limited supply of LP gas, so this is a good way to heat, on those just cool nights or mornings, whatever. You can heat using the campground's electricity, so you don't have to use your limited supply of LP. Okay. Now your TV works like any other TV, of course. This is the first time I've seen one actually mounted to a door like that. That's a first for me. Neat. Okay. Keep in mind, see this red here, this red LED? There's a switch here that will turn it on and off. You always want it on when you're using the antenna. This is what boosts and locks the digital signal. It's a digital powered antenna, so you got to have that on when you're trying to get a signal over the antenna. These are all the customer saved all his stuff or her stuff, their stuff. These are the original documents that came with the trailer, which is great. As you can see, they took really good care of it. You can always tell too. It's not foolproof, but when you see a used trailer that still has the document packet intact, it seems like it's the type of people that always take a good care of it. I mean, I know there's got to be exceptions to it, but okay. Enough for that theory, huh? So you can play discs on this, CDs, DVDs. It's got, let me see, AM, FM radio. You have USB, so you can stream off a USB. And it also has Bluetooth, so you can stream wirelessly from your phone or tablet. And it has different speaker zones. I can't see very well, but let me look here. Probably has 2 zones, I would think. 2 speaker zones, so you've got 1 is inside the trailer, 2 is outside the trailer. Okay. Now, around here somewhere is going to be the power converter, which is important for me to show you. All I have to do is find it here. The power converter converts AC to DC power. So, all I have to do is find it. Oh boy. Sometimes it'll be, oh, there it is right there. Okay. So this is the power converter. It converts AC to DC power. So what you have here is, on this side with the regular household type circuit breakers, this is 110 AC and all the circuit breakers are labeled just like at home. Then the power is converted to 12 volt DC over here. So you got 12 volt fuses and a breaker, and they're all labeled right here so you know what each one does. Also, as long as you're plugged in, this will take the AC current, convert it to DC, and charge your battery. So it'll always sense how much energy your battery needs and acts accordingly. If it's low, it'll send 10 amps or whatever. If the battery's charged, it'll just trickle a couple to keep it, trickle charging it. So more like a maintenance thing. So it's smart in that sense. It does understand how much energy the battery has. So now if any of these blow, just the fuses, they'll actually light up. You can see them glowing through this tinted plastic here. Okay, so that's your power converter. Okay, so let me look around out in the living area again and see what I forgot. Of course, you have chairs, and this is a trifold hide-a-bed that folds out right here. Your refrigerator is gas absorption, so it runs on 110 AC or LP gas. So you could run it dedicated to gas by going in that position, but you're going to use auto. Auto means electric. Auto always seeks out 110 AC first, and when it finds it, it uses it. If it can't find it, it'll switch to gas automatically, right? Now, one of the benefits of it, let's say you're gone for the day, you leave in the morning, but it's a super hot day, you're going to be gone all day, but an hour after you leave, the campground has a power outage. It'll sense that, and it'll automatically switch from electric and light it on gas so you don't spoil your food. So that's why you think auto. When you pull it down the road, you can dedicate it to gas if you want. Okay. Also, you're going to have the temperature up as high as it goes, almost always. I mean, if it's getting colder outside and it starts to frost up when you're up all the way, you can back it off a bit, but almost always you're going to have it up all the way. Okay. Vent hood with a fan and light. This, I don't know if he's got the gas turned on here, but if he does, we'll light it. If not, I'll just talk you through it. So you're just going to go to light, spark it now. I guess he does not. Oh yeah, it does. I can hear it. I think I can hear it. Yeah. So there you have it. It just had to work its way up to the front there. So that's basic. You spark it by turning the sparker clockwise. Now the oven, let me see. This one I think you probably have to use I would say this one you have to use a grill lighter with. So basically you need a grill lighter with a long neck on it. But you go to pilot, you're going to depress it and keep it depressed. Then you go down there with the grill lighter and light the pilot light all the way in the back there. After it lights, you still hold this for another 10 seconds or so to heat it up, then you go to operating temperature. But the thing is, when you shut it off, the flame goes out obviously, but so does the pilot light, so you have to relight the pilot light each time you use it. Okay, so smoke detector, of course. 2 air conditioners. So you have one thermostat here for this zone. Obviously, it's very simple. It's just analog. Heat, off, which we're at off right now, of course. Fan and cool. Fan is the air conditioner running without the compressor, just circulates air. And then a cool is obviously full air conditioning. Always try to leave the fan on auto, okay? Up here, I believe I saw another one. Yeah, so this one is more limited. It's just off, fan, and cool. There's no heat. So you run this air conditioner separate of the other one. Okay. Also, there's TV hookups in here too, by the way. So last but not least, the bathroom. Sink and shower work like any other sink and shower. This is just an access port so you can get to the plumbing behind there if you need to. The thing to know also, that's a 3-speed or 4-speed, I can't tell you for sure. Anyway, it's a powered fan, and you always want to run that with the shower too, because you want to pull the humidity out. These trailers are built really tight these days, so you always got to remember that you need to vent it. Matter of fact, this one has a remote control right here for it. It raises the lid and takes care of all the speeds and everything. Okay, so the thing to know about this is the flush pedal. But directly below is the black tank. So what you do, you get to the campground, you plug it in, hook up the water. Then you'll come in here and you'll take 1 dose of chemical, throw it in the bowl, right? Then you'll step on the flush pedal, water will come swirling out. You keep it open till you put about a gallon of water in the black tank. Doesn't have to be exact, some people use more, but the main thing is you got to have chemical and water in there before you start using it. Otherwise the smell will be really, really bad, and it can also get clogged up. So always remember, anytime let's say you flush the black tank, but you're still going to stay at the campsite for another week. Well, then you would come in here, put the chemical in, and a gallon or so of water before you start using it again. So, okay? Alright, so I guess that's pretty much it. So let me look around here. Yep. Any of the lights that don't light with the switch have a button in the middle. Okay? Alright, so I want to thank you for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. Please remember what I said about inspecting the roof and seals. Any place you see caulk from the factory, you want to keep a look on it, keep an eye on it. You see cracking or separation, take care of it. Never use caulk from the hardware store. Always go to an RV place and get the right stuff. It comes in a caulk tube, and it's only a couple bucks more than regular hardware store caulk, so it's not expensive, but you want to use the right stuff, okay? And of course, this has to be winterized once it gets close to freezing, so make sure you take care of that also. Thank you.